Welcome to the show, everybody. My name's Harry James. As we did last time, we will do a preview, and we will remember a Sooner great, Ricky Dixon, confirmed by the coach himself. Did it yesterday at around 3 o'clock. So we will have a little tribute to him, and then we will preview the Kansas Jayhawks. Final home game of the regular season for the Sooners will be against Les Miles and his Rock Chalk Jayhawks. All right, guys, we'll preview that one. Coming up next, Boomer Sooner 1982. Don't go away. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Thanks for giving me that moment. My name's Harry James. Now that the Ricky Dixon moment's out of the way, let's preview the Kansas Jayhawks. They make their home at David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium in Lawrence. Do the Kansas Jayhawks 3-9, 1-8 in Big 12 play last season, finishing them dead last, 10th place in the Big 12. No bowl game last year for Kansas, as you would imagine, but they did get a pretty solid win over a pretty decent Boston College team last year. Blew them out 48-24 in BC at Boston College, if you'll believe that. Did the head coach, Les Miles and company. That's because, one person that, let's now look at what Les has coming back. Quarterback won't help. In fact, he was third on the team 2 years ago. Was Miles Kendrick. 100 yards 2 years ago. 1 touchdown, 25 yards in average. 4 games last year at quarterback. 2 years ago, quarterback for Miles Kendrick. But you know what? They might not have a very good passing attack, but they got a darn good running attack. We all know this guy. Remember from last time in Norman, don't you? Puka. The number 1 rusher in Kansas last season for the Jayhawks. 1 Puka Williams. 203 tackles when it was all said and done. To go with 1,042 yards on the ground. 3 touchdowns. Longest run with some 65 yards out. Averaged 96.5 yards per ball game in 11 ball games last season for the Jayhawks. Then third on the team, with the second graduating third on the team, 0. That's Vernon Gardner. Gardner, 26 attempts last year, 138 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 45 was his longest run. Averaged 20.2 yards per ball game, 20.2 yards per ball game last year in 12 games for the Jayhawks of Kansas. Now, Miles Kendrick probably didn't pass for 100 yards, only did pass for 100 yards last year. But you know what, guys? He's going to get a chance to sling it this year. He'll get a chance to. Remember Josh Fields and what he did to Oklahoma his freshman year? Oh, yeah. And you know what? They got some receivers, too. Probably a little bit more like a Rashawn Woods type. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe number 4, Andrew Parchment. Or number 5, Stephen Robinson. Or we'll start with 4, Andrew Parchment. 65 receptions last year. to go with 829 yards in the air, 4 touchdowns. His longest reception, 75 yards out, averaged 69.2 yards per ball game in 12 ball games for the Jayhawks last year. He finished first on the team with receptions. Second on receptions in the team, 45. That number 5, Stephon Robinson Jr. had 45 catches to go with 727 yards on the ground, in the air, 4 touchdowns. 13 was his longest completion, 60.6 yards per ball game last year in 12 games. And then the defense. Devon Ferguson and Garvin Porter are your tacklers returning. Number 3 on the tackles for both of them, finishing 3rd and 4th respectively with 57 tackles, is Ferguson and Porter. We'll start with Ferguson. 7, Devon Ferguson, 57 tackles, a forced fumble, of 0 fumbles recovered, 0 picks last season in 12 games for the safety. Linebacker, also Gavin Porter, 57 tackles. Again, same as Ferguson. He, though, had 0 fumbles recovered, 0 fumbles forced, and 0 picks in 12 games. So since he didn't have any turnovers forced or recovered, won't get any. And that's what puts Ferguson ahead of him, in my opinion. And then you expect Kansas to always have a good kicker, don't you? Liam Jones, 46 Liam Jones, 11 for 18, 61.1% percentage ranking, percentage last year, 46 long, 12 games for him. And also in 12 games was the punter play in 12 games last season. That's Kyle Thompson, 57 attempts last year, 44.5 an average, 73 is long, and played in 12 games. So you got offense, you got defense, you got special teams. Now you need a coach. You got a coach, baby. The grass eater himself, the Mad Hatter himself, Les Miles, a 1975 grad from Michigan. His head coach stints include, of course, as we all know, Sooner fans, 2001 to 2004, an Oklahoma State Cowboy. Later, left there to go to LSU as a Tiger in 2005 and stayed there all the way to 2016. Took a couple of years off till last year in 2019 when he took over the Jayhawks of Kansas. Record 209 games in all three homes for Les Miles. 209 games with 145 wins, 64 losses. That's a 69.4% winning clip and 15 bowl attempts with a 9-6 record. That's a 60% winning clip in bowls. All right, guys, that will wrap this one up. Next week, we'll preview the Texas Tech Red Raiders, the final game of the regular season for the Sooners. After that, we'll preview the Sooners of Oklahoma. And hopefully after that, we'll either have a football game to watch or maybe I might have something else planned, maybe. Fingers crossed, maybe. If not, we'll see. All right, guys, thanks for watching. My name's Harry James. You can catch this and all my other videos on Facebook, Harry James Taylor. Twitter, I'm at HypeManHarry. And on YouTube, Harry James Taylor. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And Boomer Sooner, everybody. I'm out of here. Peace.